Hello, I'm Steve, also known as Tea Break Knitter on social media. I'm about to start cutting the steek on my Gansey, but before I do this, I'll just explain a bit how I've done the steek and why. The reason why is basically because I didn't want second sock syndrome. I didn't want to knit the front and then have to knit the back. So I've put in a steek so I can just knit from bottom to top of the body without stopping. The second reason was that I am very bad at remembering to reverse the stitches when I'm working flat. So I decided to do a steek. So here's the basics of the steek that I've done. Here's the arm gusset, in the front and the back. And this section here is where I would have filled in and put some steek stitches instead of knitting the front and knitting the back separately. I've used 7 steek stitches because this is frangipani yarn, which is worsted spun, and so although it's 100% wool, it's not as clingy as yarns you would normally use for steeking. And the 7 steek stitches are more easily seen if I pull the stitching apart here. That column of 7 stocking stitch in the middle. The outer 2 stitches are what's going to be the selvage, so I'm going to pick up the armhole through those 2 stitches on the side. Then the central 5 stitches are going to form the hem on the inside when I've cut the steek. I'm going to cut down the middle of this central stitch, and instead of using crochet reinforcement or sewing reinforcement, I have used needle felting, where I've taken a needle felting needle, felted down over that area, and if you look on the back you can see what that's done. So we have here this very fuzzy area. I'll bring that up a little bit closer. That fuzz is where the individual fibres have been pushed through the fabric, so they're actually joining the various bits of yarn in the stitches, and that's what's going to stop it fraying when it's cut. So that's how I set it up. Let's turn it over and do the real thing. Of course, on the other arm I have already picked up the stitches. So here we are on the other side. Here is the working yarn where I've picked up the stitches. They're already on the needle, so I've done with the tugging of the steek. I will just push up the middle. I'll just show you what I've got here. Under here I've got a clipboard, and I put that up the centre so that when I'm cutting I don't accidentally cut through underneath the stitches. So here goes. Some sharp scissors. Find that centre stitch. 1, 2, 3. That stitch. Are you ready? Let me get in shot and cut. Keep going up that centre stitch and cut and cut all the way up. Showing you from the angle from the side. Just a little bit more. and remove that marker, so that will stop me cutting. And there we are. I now have an armhole. So that's cutting the steek on the Gansey. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.